thought I was kissing my crush, but it was actually my brother. What in the Alabama? Today I'm reading your craziest confessions, and some of them are actually insane, so let's get to it. Okay, first up, when I was younger, my little cousin was playing on the floor, and I noticed a bunch of ants nearby. First of all, gross, I don't like ants. For some reason, I started picking them up and putting them on him. At first, it was just one, then another. Why are you putting ants on your little cousin? Seriously, I feel... If somebody put ants on me, they're getting punched to Mars, okay? That's actually, I think I would, oh my god, I'd be very mad, okay? And then I started putting a bunch of them in his hair. What? Hair? Again, if somebody put ants in my hair, or just even on me, I would actually... I'm itchy. I thought I was kissing my crush, but it was actually my brother. How do you accidentally kiss your brother? Like, genuinely. I don't understand how that's even possible, okay? Because you need jail time. You need jail time, buddy. At my school, I hid small speakers in the ceiling tiles because I thought it would be funny to play sounds during class. Huh? First of all, how did you manage to get speakers in your ceiling tiles at school? Did you crawl up there like during break or something? I'm not understanding this. Okay, let's see where this goes though. A few days later, I forgot they were still connected to my phone. I was at home playing a shooting game and this... Okay, so your phone was connected to the speakers at school in the ceiling, and you were at home playing a shooting game. So I assume you didn't go to school that day or something. And the sound started coming through the speakers at school. No one could figure out where it was coming from, and it caused a lockdown. This is actually bad. This is actually really bad. I never told anyone, and I graduated without anyone finding out it was me. This is really bad. You're bad. No. Because lockdowns are an actual problem, so this would be really scary. I don't have any words. Maybe don't do this. Don't set up speakers in school and play a shooting game at home when your phone's connected. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, the next one is called Poop Desk. So, let's see where this goes. I'm very scared. Okay, one morning, our teacher walked in, looked at her desk, and froze. Someone had left actual poop on it, not fake, real. Wait, could you imagine being a teacher, okay? You walk into school and you see freaking poop on a desk. I would quit my job on the spot. Yeah, I'd be out of here. I'd be gone, because that would be, oh my, there was even liquid around it. Oh no. Ew! I swear, I would be gone. I would quit my job because that's disgusting. No one ever found out who did it. Yeah, I feel like if I pooped on a desk, I would never admit to that. Like, that's... Ew! Yeah, don't poop on desks, guys. Don't do that. Do not recommend. I used my sibling's toothbrush once, and then it became a habit. First of all, I feel gross using other people's toothbrushes, so I don't know how that would become a habit, but I mean... To each their own, I guess. Sometimes I'd use it and just put it back like nothing happened. Again, I personally wouldn't do that, wouldn't recommend, but hey, if you want to share gingivitis, go for it, I guess. Okay. One time, I even dropped it in the toilet and rinsed it off. Okay, that's disgusting. And I still put it back. You put it back. So you're telling me you dropped a toothbrush in the toilet and it wasn't even yours, and you put it back? Throw it out! What are you doing? Okay, and my sibling still uses it and they have no idea. If I found out that my sibling dropped my toothbrush in the toilet, put it back, and I've been using it, I would be so mad at them, because I have poop breath. That is disgusting. Don't do this, guys. Next up, we have the locker smell incident. Okay, so I left food in my locker for months and it started rotting. Gross. It smelled so bad, but I didn't want anyone to know it was mine. People kept complaining about the smell and I just acted confused. Okay, well, maybe clean your locker out. I'm not really... First of all, one, why did you leave food in there for months? Not getting that. Two, clean it out. That's probably a biohazard. You're creating another COVID probably in there. I wouldn't do that if I were you. But hey, you know what? No. Don't do that. I was gonna say, hey, maybe to each their own, but no, don't do that. I meowed at my teacher for a whole week and never explained why. Could you imagine you're like a teacher and you have like a student just meowing at you for a whole week? I feel like it'd be funny, but also I feel like I'd be extremely confused, okay? Because you're just like, meow! Okay, next we have TikTok dance gone wrong. Let's see where this goes. I was trying to impress my crush by doing a TikTok dance. Like one of those fast ones with a spin in it. Okay, go you, I guess. We'll see where this goes. I slipped mid-spin and landed straight on my arm. It hurt really bad. Could you imagine you're just like trying to impress your crush, okay? You're doing the renegade, you're doing stuff, and you fall and hit your arm. Your crush is probably sitting there just like, this is why I don't like you back. Wait, that was mean, I'm sorry. But instead of telling anyone or getting it checked, I told my friend that my arm hurt. And they were like, nah, you're fine, it's probably just sore. So I just believed them. I kept using my arm like normal, even though it hurt. This went on for like a week. And then I finally got it checked, and it was literally broken the whole time. Okay, so you're telling me you did the renegade thing, okay? You fell on your arm, and you broke your arm. And you didn't know it was broken and you're just doing stuff? Buddy, man, that sucks. But also, like, why are you trusting your friend with that? Because you went to your friend to ask for help, and maybe go to like, if your arm is hurting that bad, don't ask your friend, go to a doctor. Because there's a reason you wouldn't trust somebody unqualified to handle something like that. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan have been fighting for people for over 35 years. And with over $30 billion recovered for their clients, they know a thing or two about fighting to get the people the compensation they deserve. Hiring Morgan & Morgan is like hiring an army. They have 1,000 lawyers and 100 offices nationwide. And if you're injured because of somebody else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. Because clearly trusting the wrong person does not end well. Not all law firms are the same. Hire the wrong one, you may be beat before you even start. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, you can go to forthepeople.com/Charlie. My pet fish died, and I didn't want to tell my parents. So I put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer to preserve it. My mom found it a few days later while cooking. So first of all, my sincere condolences to your fish, because that is very sad. I had a lot of fish growing up, and they would inevitably, and it was sad, so I'm really sorry, but usually like I would just flush them down the toilet, so I don't know why you decided to do that, but you do you, I guess. But I could just imagine your mom is just like in the freezer trying to find stuff, and she just comes across your passed away little fish there in the Ziploc bag. I honestly, if I was a mom and found that, I would scream. Next up, we have fake identities. So let's see where this is going. I faked an accent and convinced everyone I moved from another country. I kept it going for an entire month until my mom came to school and exposed me. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I might have kind of done the same thing in the past. I used to be obsessed with doing a British accent, so I'd be like, hello. That's really bad British accent. That's really bad. I've kind of lost it, as you can tell. But I used to go around and I was obsessed with doing it, and I wanted everybody to think that I was British, so I've kind of fallen into the same trap before, so we're the same. But I didn't like actually make people believe that I was from like another country. I didn't make them believe I was from England, so I guess good for you for keeping that going. But I can't imagine your mom just coming in and being like, just so everybody knows, she is actually not from that country. She lied to you guys. She's not actually British. I would be mortified. At a sleepover, I accidentally clogged the toilet really bad. Nothing would flush. First of all, that is panic in a nutshell, okay? That is my worst fear. If I ever go to my friend's house and I clog their toilet, at that point, I am leaving Earth, okay? I am out of here. I am gone. Okay, let's just keep reading. I panicked because everyone was outside the bathroom waiting. So instead of admitting it, I wrapped the poop in toilet paper, put it in my backpack, and took it home. What? There's no way you did that. There's no way you did that. But I mean, hey, it's better than admitting to people that you actually clogged the toilet. So I mean, I would probably do the same thing, because I would never, yeah, you know what? I would do the same thing. I would take the poo, I would wrap it up, throw it in my bag, because that would be too embarrassing. I am not admitting that I clogged the toilet, okay? Now. One time, I was in the grocery store looking for my mom because we got separated. I finally spotted her standing in one of the aisles. So I ran up behind her and gave her a huge hug. And I was like, Mom, I've been looking everywhere for you. The woman slowly turned around and it was not my mom. No. But instead of immediately letting go like a normal person, I just froze there, still hugging her for like 2 full seconds. Pull away, like if you know it's not your mom. Ugh. Okay, whatever. She looked terrified, I looked terrified. And then to make it even worse, my actual mom walked into the aisle right at that moment and just stared at me hugging this random woman. So like, this has happened to me when I was younger. I remember going up to a person like pulling their pant leg when I was like 3 because I thought it was my dad. But the second that I saw it wasn't my dad, I immediately left. Like, why are you still hugging her, okay? Could you imagine, you're just like this lady, you're trying to grocery shop, right? You're trying to have a good time, okay? And all of a sudden, this little girl comes up to you, gives you a hug, and doesn't let go. I'd be like, oh, what are you doing right now? I don't know, I feel like you should have pulled away, but hey, we all make mistakes, okay? It's all right. Okay, next, my teacher wouldn't let me go to the bathroom, so I ended up pooping my pants in class. This is why teachers need to always let students use the washroom, okay? I hate, like, why is it a rule that, like, why are they allowed to say no? Okay, because if I have to use the washroom, I have to go. I don't understand the mentality because they say no, moments like this happen. Students will just go, they will poop their pants. Okay, teachers, please be better. Say yes to students so we can prevent this entire incident. Okay, this one's called the pee bottle incident, so I'm quite nervous. Let's get reading. My brother was too lazy to go to the bathroom while gaming, so he started peeing into empty bottles in his room. So that is taking lazy to the next level. That is like beyond that. You have broken the meter thing. You've broken it. It's through the roof. That is very lazy. Very, very, very lazy. One day, my aunt came over and grabbed one because she thought it was apple juice. Oh no. Please don't tell me this is going where I think it's going. Oh, good grief. Okay. She literally opened it and drank it. It went where I thought. It went where I thought. Oh God. Oh my goodness. My brother locked himself in his room for the rest of the night out of embarrassment. Yeah. Honestly, he just lock him up. Not bedroom, lock him in jail. Lock him in jail for that, okay? Because if I was excited to drink apple juice, okay, I was like, yes, it's apple juice. And I go and take a chug of it and it's pee, you're not hearing from me. You're not hearing from me because I'm gone. That is, oh boy, that would be real disgusting. That would be, no. Okay, one time I saw a science experiment online where someone mixed vinegar and baking soda in a bottle. So I tried it in my kitchen. Okay, before I continue, I want to see what this experiment entails. 1 second.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I found a video that shows what happens when you do it. So let's see. Okay, so it like explodes. So that's the kind of experiment they're trying to do. Okay, let's get back to the story, shall we? All right. Okay, so I tried it in my kitchen. First of all, this is like, they were doing it outside. Look, it's outside. So why are you doing it in your kitchen? I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. But I kept adding more and more because I wanted a bigger reaction. Okay, keep in mind in this video, they added, I'm not even kidding, a teaspoon of the baking powder or baking soda. And this is the reaction it had. So you're telling me you kept adding more and more. I'm very concerned for where this is going. I don't like this. I really don't like this. Okay. Then I sealed the container and shook it. It's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. All right. A few seconds later, the bottle started expanding in my hands. So I panicked and threw it across the kitchen. Bad decision there. All right. And it exploded. Yeah, I mean, you kept adding more and more and you shook it and threw it. What do you think's gonna happen, man? Oh boy. Vinegar foam went everywhere. The ceiling, cabinets, walls, everything. Oh boy, okay. My parents came home like 5 minutes later and immediately knew something happened because the entire house smelled like vinegar. Well, they probably saw it too, right? They probably came in and are like, whoa, our house is trashed. Our house is gone. It's gone. There's an explosion in here. Yeah. I assume you probably got in trouble for this because if I did this, if I took a container, made an explosion like that and destroyed the kitchen, I would probably be dead. I would be in big trouble. So hopefully you weren't in trouble. Hopefully your parents are chill, but if this happened to me, might not see the light of day again. I hid in the bathroom after school because I didn't want to go home yet. Are you kidding me? Who doesn't want to go home? I stayed too long and didn't realize the school was closing. They locked the building with me still inside. Oh, that would be my worst nightmare actually, because I don't want to be in school, okay? I'm already there for 7 hours. It's too long, okay? If I was locked in there overnight, I was too embarrassed to admit it, so I just stayed there for hours until the next day when the janitor found me. So you stayed in the school overnight? Did you like sleep on the toilet? Like I'm not... Okay, that sounds like torture. I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry that happened to you. Sounds kind of traumatizing. I hope you're okay. Okay, next we have one called the snot incident. So we already know this is gonna be bad. All right, let's see. I was talking to my crush and started laughing really hard. Out of nowhere, snot flew out of my nose and hit them in the face. That's my biggest nightmare. That is my biggest nightmare. Oh my goodness. I just stood there in silence. What else can you do? You just snot rocketed somebody, your crush specifically, in the face. There's no coming back from that. There is literally no coming back from that. I was responsible for feeding our class pet, but I started forgetting. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? All right, every time someone asked if I fed it, I just said I did. So you're telling me that you were not feeding a pet? You're bad. You're so bad. I feel so, oh my goodness. I really hope the pet is alive still. That's not good. Don't do this. You need to feed your pets, guys. Lesson of the day. Feed your pets. You got to, man. Poor Billy. I'm gonna name the pet Billy. Poor Billy. Okay, next we have something called the sleepwalking disaster. So let's see what this entails. When I was younger, I used to sleepwalk really badly. Me too, actually. One time I peed in the corner. Shh, don't tell anybody, but one time that happened. I was like 5. Kind of embarrassing, but I used to sleepwalk a little bit, so I can understand you. I can understand you. One night, I apparently walked into the kitchen, opened the fridge, took out an entire carton of orange juice, and poured it into my mom's purse. Ooh, whoopsies, that's not good. No one knew it was me at first. The next morning, my mom thought something leaked in her bag, but when she opened it, everything was soaked in orange juice. Her wallet, receipts, makeup, everything. And the worst part is, I had absolutely no memory of doing it. Well, yeah, because you're sleepwalking. Oh no. My family still brings it up all the time. Ooh, okay, I guess this one's not your fault technically, okay? So like, it's not your fault. It was an accident. Hey, I feel bad for your mom's purse, but it was an accident, right? One night, I accidentally called 911 while my phone was in my pocket. That was my worst fear, like, and it still is. Like, I'm scared I'm gonna butt dial 911. Like, could you imagine? Yikes. The operator answered, and I panicked so badly that I hung up immediately. That's what I would do if that happened. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't hang up. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to call you. It was an accident. I would be like apologizing profusely, but you're probably panicking. But apparently, right before I hung up, my mic picked up my TV in the background, and the TV was playing some crime documentary where someone was literally screaming, "Help me!" That is not looking good. That is not looking good. Oh my goodness. So now emergency services think someone is dying in my house. Well, yeah, you butt dialed them. It heard the TV in the background and you hung up. It's not looking good. It's looking really, really bad, actually. Oh my goodness. A minute later, they called back. I ignored it because I thought if I pretended nothing happened, it would just go away. No, you should have probably picked up. But hey, it's okay. We make mistakes, right? Just don't do that again. Worst decision of my life. Yeah. Like 10 minutes later, there were police officers banging on our front door with flashlights. My parents were asleep and woke up completely terrified, thinking something horrible happened. Well, yeah, if I was a parent and I was woken up to like paramedics like, let us in, I'd be like, oh my goodness, something's going on, I'm scared, something bad's happening. Okay. The police came inside because they thought someone might actually be in danger. Meanwhile, I'm upstairs trying to decide whether I should admit it was me or just disappear forever. You gotta admit it was you. You need to tell people. Everyone's panicking right now. You gotta tell people, man. Then one officer suddenly goes, "Who made the emergency call?" And my stupid phone betrays me because at exact moment my alarm starts going off beside me. Okay, I don't really understand that. What do you mean? So the police officer was like, "Who made the emergency call?" And then your phone alarm went off. Okay, so then everybody turns and looks directly at my room. and I had to walk downstairs and explain that the person screaming for help was literally from a murder documentary. Oh my goodness, my parents have never looked more disappointed in me. Well, yeah, you butt dialed 911. They heard your TV and then you hid in your room and didn't admit to it. I can not to side with your parents, but I can kind of understand where they're coming from there. I'm sorry. I can kind of get it. I used to fake being sick almost every Friday because I hated one of my classes. Honestly, valid. Really, really valid here. I approve of this. I don't actually do this, by the way. Don't actually do this, but I know that we all kind of wish we could. At first, my parents believed me, but I did it so often that it basically became part of everyone's routine. Every Friday morning, I'd suddenly be dizzy or about to throw up. My teachers started expecting it too. One time, my mom looked at me and literally said, "Let me guess, stomach ache again?" And the worst part is, eventually I accidentally conditioned myself into feeling sick every Friday because I got so used to lying about it. Are you kidding me? Honestly though, I feel like my parents, after a while, if I kept saying I was sick, they would just be like, "You're going to school. You're being stupid. Go to school. You're not sick." They would force me to, because I'm not even gonna lie, even if I was actually sick, my parents would be like, "Come on, you're going to school. The only way you're not going to school is if you have a really high fever and you're throwing up." If I didn't have those two things, I was going to school. So my parents would not let me stay home. So you know what? You deserve a round of applause, okay? Because you're living every kid's dream right now. Next we have, I used to smell like poop. That's it. That's literally that's the confession. I used to smell like poop. That sucks, I guess. That's not good. Okay, anyway, I'm done. There's a lot more confessions, but I think I've had enough for today. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button because I deserve it after reading these crazy things. Please hit it. Anyways, bye!